Speaker is Mohammed Salman Anjum. He's going to talk about blockchain powered invoicing system. He is the founder of InvoiceMate, and he's also been named a top 100 blockchain leaders in the world. So with pleasure, I would like to invite Mohammed Salman Anjum on stage.
Thank you for a kind introduction, and Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So I just take the leap from the Hama's keynote. She said that in 2 years' time, we will be seeing the blockchain as mainstream adoption. And just yesterday, I had another conversation where the question was when we'll see the adoption of a mainstream blockchain. Now, this is an effort to do that. I'm in the space for the last 6 years and trying to find out, okay, how the blockchain can go beyond crypto. And the areas we identified as the enterprises, the conventional businesses. That's where, if we bring blockchain, it can bring a lot of value. So InvoiceMate is the effort to bring blockchain to the mainstream. There was a disconnect between the crypto people and the mainstream, like conventional business people. And this is where we can connect the both and bring the $2 trillion worth capital from the crypto to the conventional business and solve their cash flow problems. As the name suggests, you can see it's all about invoicing, and we are trying to build up the invoicing ecosystem on blockchain. So it's a trusted partner for the invoice processing, first of all, and then, of course, moving forward towards the payment parts and then towards the financing part of the invoicing. Now, we identified some problems in the invoicing ecosystem, and we start, first of all, identifying the value of invoicing. Every business does invoicing. We, as sometimes clients, receive invoices to pay, and sometimes we, as vendors, do invoicing to receive our payments for the goods or services we supplied. So it's the most commonly used document in the business world. Invoicing is the backbone of the accounting, and accounting is the backbone of any business in the world, whether small, whether large, whether it's an organization belonging from the government entity and all that. So safely to say, if you want to bring a mainstream impact from blockchain, invoicing is the critical, useful utility for that. So these are some of the pain points with the non-blockchain based invoicing systems. Losing them, losing the invoices, duplications, under-invoicing, over-invoicing, fake invoicing. These are all some of the very commonly known fraud issues with the invoicing of a standard site. Then insecurity and inefficiency in the standard reviews and approvals of the invoice processing is also very dominant these days. Now, these days, it's not just one organization's cross functions which are reviewing and approving the invoices. They are basically multiple organizations involved now to review and approve the invoices. So you need a platform, you need a network that is connected with the blockchain so that it can be more transparent, it can be more efficient, and can be serve as the trust layer. Reconciliation between the vendors and suppliers, again, is a big issue, and that can also be resolved through the blockchain. And finally, two more very important things. One is the crypto enablement in the accounting systems. If I take you back last year, the Tesla announced that they will be selling their cars against Bitcoin, but it took them 20 more days to start accepting Bitcoin for the Tesla. What was the reason for that 20 days delay? Because their systems were not ready. And that is the case with the 99% of the organization in the world. The systems are not ready to accept payments in crypto and make payments in crypto. So you need to top up your existing ERPs, existing accounting packages with a new layer of a blockchain-enabled invoicing systems. And last but not the least, invoice financing. This is one of the most ignored financing sector because mainly of the insecurities around it, the frauds around it. Very recently, we saw one of the biggest fraud case in history of Pakistan, that is the Haskell and Baico. So what they were doing is just exchanging the fake invoices and created a big issue for the banking system of Pakistan. So all these can be resolved through InvoiceMate. And how we are doing it, we are putting each step of the invoicing journey, starting from the onboarding of suppliers and the clients, and then onwards to the creation of the invoices, submission of the invoices, to the processing of the invoices, payments, and finally the financing part of the invoices, all is NFT'd on blockchain, just to create a single source of growth between the ecosystem. And this is how we are doing it. We are bringing every ecosystem player on the chain, serving them as a single source of truth on a blockchain. So whenever there is a network, whenever there is a issues between 2, 3 multiple parties, there is a requirement of blockchain as a real digital transformation enabler. We also have connected the legacy systems of like the legacy ERPs and accounting systems with the InvoiceMate, and all of the organizations can use that. Paymate is the module inside the InvoiceMate where you can also make the payments through the international payment gateways and domestic gateways as well. In Pakistan, we are integrating JS Bank's Zindagi wallet and also Jazz Cash, Easy Pesa, so that we can ease up people's invoicing needs from the creation to the payment, and of course then onwards to the FinMate part is for the financing part, where we are going to bring in the Sharia compliant financial financing of the invoices. Now, alone blockchain cannot bring a solution like this. You need other digital transformation enablers as well. You need AI bots. So there is a bot which will be enabling the reduction of the errors and enhancing the efficiency, like OCRs and so on and so forth. We have already bring in a lot of like our big power, the analytics dashboard, both for the vendors who are using InvoiceMate, CFOs and accounting teams who will be using InvoiceMate for the invoicing needs. ConnectMate will connect their existing, we are not saying scrap all of the legacy network architecture you have. We are actually adding life to that existing IT architecture which you have already in running your financial transactions already. We have incorporated chatbot, which is a chat room, which is similar to the like a WhatsApp. We again, if we see the practices in Middle East and Pakistan, a lot of businesses are happening on WhatsApp. So we don't want our business people to go out of this InvoiceMate and do the conversation about their invoicing on WhatsApp. So there is a full-fledged, completely messenger room available within the app itself. Then there is a vendor management system, client management system is already there. FinMate and a Paymate, I have explained that these will be the enablers for the financing part of the invoicing and the payment part of the invoicing. This is our first implementation last year by December. We have already deployed 5 pro level InvoiceMates. There are 2 versions, which I'll be explaining in a minute or so. So this is the case study we have done already with the SALIC, Saudi Agriculture and Livestock Investment Company. It's the Saudi government entity which has implemented InvoiceMate already. And they have different players, like suppliers have different kind of benefits, bringing them from the InvoiceMate's usage. Approvers, reviewers, they have their own benefits. Accounting staff and CFOs, of course, the primary beneficiary of this tool. So this is the case study, which is the live implementation of the InvoiceMate. As I said, we have now 2 versions. Corporate version is for the high-end corporates and high-end government entities, which are not many in the world. If you want to bring mass adoption of blockchain, if you want to bring mass change, then you have to reach out to the communities of small businesses and freelancers. For that, we are bringing up next month InvoiceMate Lite, which can be downloaded and it will be a plug and play. With the version of the Pro, you have to have a lot of integrations with your existing ERPs and accounting packages, but with this Lite version, all of the accounting needs specifically with the focus on the invoicing will be addressed through InvoiceMate Lite with this app. App is ready. As I said, we will be launching the beta by the next month's Future Fest, which is happening between May 13th to 15th in Islamabad. So that is the time we are identifying to launch the beta version. Now, know your invoice. You have already heard about know your business, know your customers, but this is something, again, disruptive. Know your invoice. This has never been done before in the world. Invoices have a critical value, and especially when you are in the financing mode or even in the payment side, you need to have authenticity about all of the credentials of invoicing. So this, with the help of putting every step on blockchain we can achieve as the know your invoice service, which eventually can bring a lot of, like, again, credit scores for people who are for the businesses who want invoice financing, and for the invoicing institution, those who are doing the financial lending to the on the financing basis, invoice basis, they will also be having a lot of, like, clarity, authenticity. So know your invoice, a very disruptive concept based on the blockchain, is coming with this invoice mate. There will be plenty of benefits for different players in the ecosystem. It's a next generation automation tool as well. At the same time, it's bringing a lot of fraud resilience and benefits to the financial institutions. They can safely do the trusted layer based invoice financing. And of course, invoice financing clients can be having a good cash flow and a quick turnaround for their applications on invoice financing. Now, this is, again, a very critical part, Sharia compliance in the invoice financing layer. So we are in the final phase of formulating the Sharia compliant board, which will be helping us in bringing the product, which will be a Sharia compliant, and that will be, again, a big disruption, that invoice financing with the Sharia compliance layer around it. This is one of the things which we'll be seeing in 1 hour from now. Most likely, we'll be signing up the MOU with the KP IT board. And what will be the value of that? I just want to go through with this slide and sharing the impact of invoice rate can bring to the KPK vendors for the KPK government. Now, if we all know that there is an advanced salary concept, right? People can reach out to pay active kind of players, and they can have their advanced salary on a daily basis or on a weekly or monthly, like any 15 days basis. This is the same concept that the vendors of the KPK government now can reach out to the invoice mate, and we can extend their invoice financing, and of course it will improve their cash flow. Because again, when you work with any organization, let alone with the government, there's always a time after the approving of the invoice for the payment part. So this is again going to bring a revolution in the, first of all, in the KPK government vendors sector, and then we will be replicating it with other private organizations, like even like Jazz or let's say Interloop in my city. I belong from Faisalabad. It's an industrial city. A lot of like invoicing ecosystem takes place there. So, and there are problems with the cash flow in vendors working with every sector there. So imagine this tool for the small vendors, and they can have their cash flow efficiency, and especially on the Sharia compliance layer as well. We also have other partnerships signed in Pakistan. Silk Bank is the first one we've signed a couple of months back, and we have integrated with their online banking as well. Very recently, in Jan, we signed up our first MOU with the Jazz, and it's going to be in next month. We'll be signing the second and third as well, where we'll be having the integration with the Jazz Cash, and plus they will be our implementation partners in the Pakistan as well. So they are coming into the digital transformation. They have their own softwares which they are offering to their B2B and B2C client edge. So this will be one of their portfolio, co-branded portfolio product which they will be releasing with us. We also, before coming here, I also happened to sign up things with the JS Bank, plus the Zindagi as a digital bank with them. So again, they will be 3 layers of integration. The first one is that we will have them as payment channels, and people can use those payment channels like Zindagi Wallet, like JS Online Banking, for making the payments of the invoices. Plus, the collaboration is to bring, again, the trusted invoice financing to the B2B clients, and of course to the SME clients as well. And lastly, it will be a digital payment system for the large corporates who have to now pay to above 250,000 worth rupees through online means of payment. They cannot extend the checks in future. Again, one more on the Sharia side. It's again one of the leading advisory for the Islamic banking and financial system. They have signed up with to provide us the advisory to formulate that shape of that product of invoice financing for the small micro level financing of the invoices. As I shared, we have Salik plus 4 more now. The slide has 3, but now we have already 4 more. We are in the revenues, and it's not going to be just that we are stopping at the invoice management system. We started as AP operations back in 2020, and then we top it up now with the invoice management system. By third quarter this year, we'll be a complete accounting package, first in the world on powered by blockchain, and next year we are aiming to become world's first ever ERP powered by blockchain. As I said, it's a competitive advantage. So far, we are at the moment world's first and only one. And when we do the metrics with our competitors, some of them are in the Silicon Valley as well. We have some distinctive advantages, and especially the core one is the blockchain. This is the market opportunity we are addressing. Invoice financing market is itself getting into the 5-figure mark in terms of the billions. And then Islamic financing for already a 2.5 trillion, not now, but in 2025, it will become a $2.5 trillion worth market. And since it's an enterprise software, we are in the game of 17 billion, growing 10% annually. This is the revenue model. Subscriptions for the both light and the pro versions, and then of course the payment gateways are integrated, so we can charge the transaction fee. And moving forward, there will be know your invoice service fee. So we will become data as a service provider for the invoicing ecosystem to the banks, to the credit scorers for the invoice clients, invoice financing clients. This is the funding roadmap, been bootstrapped by me since the August 2020, and we are looking for now seed round, mainly for the liquidity pool of the invoice financing part, and we will be going through that round in May, and we will be doing our ICO for initial coin offering starting from the November this year, where we will be again raise a larger pool of liquidity of around 20 million to cater the big scale invoice financing. That's the allocation, how we will be splitting the usage, or how we'll use the $3 million worth round. And we will be giving this equity of 20% and plus 1.1% of the token in a bonus against the 3 million worth round. This is an amazing team which has been bringing this with me for last, again, more than around 2 years now, and we'll continue doing that. We have strategic partnerships in all different verticals and moving forward with the rapid pace. Here also, we'll be looking forward for more strategic partners to add value to this ecosystem. Thank you very much. We are based in Dubai, and Faisalabad is the dev shop is in Faisalabad and Germany as well, but we are based also in headquartered in the Dubai. Thank you very much. We'll look forward to take your questions and discuss about the synergies during the break. Thank you.